Hey everyone, Chess here again, and I just wanted to start out by saying thank you guys for getting me up to 3,000 subscribers. I didn't really have an existing audience when I first started posting, so seeing these numbers go up has been really exciting for me, so thank you. It means a lot that you enjoy my silly little videos. Speaking of, I realized I just kinda showed up and started spitting out videos randomly one day without giving much of an introduction, and since the audio for my videos has all been pre-recorded, it feels a little distant from the audience, so I wanted to make a little Q&A video to help connect with my subscribers a bit better. On my community tab, I asked if you guys had any questions you'd like me to answer, and naturally we got a lot of Pokemon ones, so let's read them. The first one I noticed got a lot of similar questions regarding what are my plans after I've conquered all the regions. Well, the truth is it's looking like a never-ending story at this point, doesn't it? Pokemon is releasing new regions every couple of years or so naturally once I've caught up I simply have to wait a bit before there's a new land for me to take over. So realistically it may be a long while before I've actually conquered every region, but while waiting for new Pokemon games, there's lots of other ideas I'd love to make videos on. I recently did a shiny only run in Let's Go Pikachu, I'd like to do a Legends Arceus run, and yes, someday a Nuzlocke. The problem for me with Nuzlocks is I'm way too impatient for them. I hate grinding, so every time I've attempted one in my downtime, I usually end up losing, but hey, maybe with an audience judging my every move, I'll actually be more cautious and survive a bit longer. Speaking of, here's my question for you guys. If I ever did figure out how to stream gameplay, would anyone be interested in watching it? I do kind of feel bad all my videos are basically just me explaining my gameplay without actually being able to show any. Let me know in the comments, or if I were to do a Nuzlocke for YouTube, which game would I do? Anyway, moving on. Let's see, what is your favorite generation? Gen 2. Again, I know it has a lot of issues, but the nostalgia is just so strong I can't consider any other region or generation my favorite outside of Johto. I really did love playing through Gen 3 and 6 though, too. Who's your favorite gym leader? If we're going by design, I'd have to say Roxy from Unova. She's just so cute and she's got a cute voice and I love her gym. Do you like Pikachu or Eevee more, and what's your favorite evolution? Well, when it came down to the Let's Go games, I chose Pikachu because I like electric-type Pokemon more than normal types in most cases, but they are both adorable. My favorite evolution? I know it's basically taboo to say this now since the internet ruined it, but ever since I was a kid, Vaporeon was always my favorite. I loved the design, and it was really hard to get evolution stones in the original Gold and Silver, so it was always such a hard Pokemon to obtain for me. Like a mythical mermaid I could never quite get, but I could observe from afar. Afar meaning I would just look at the dex entry and be sad. What's my least favorite Pokemon? I really don't like a lot of the gross humanoid ones. I don't like Jinx or Mr. Mime or the Conkeldurr line, but out of all of them I'd say Jinx is the ugliest. Do you play any other games beside Pokemon? Yeah, I like a lot of the Nintendo ones. I enjoy The Legend of Zelda, Fire Emblem, Mario, etc. I really like Skyrim and Dragon Age, and the occasional indie game like Doki Doki and Undertale, stuff like that. I'm really bad at first-person shooters, and the motion makes me nauseous, so I avoid those. How did you come up with the name for your channel? It's a play on my actual name. If you could live anywhere in the Pokemon world, where would it be? Alola. Probably somewhere on Ula Ula Island. I like slightly cooler temperatures. Favorite shiny? I really like white, black, and pink ones. Dragonair and Mareep are spectacular. Favorite Pokemon of each gen? Oh boy, let's see. Gen 1 would probably be Ninetales. Gen 2 has to be Mareep. Gen 3, Flygon. Gen 4, it's gotta be Garchomp, but there's some good ones in there. Gen 5, gotta be honest, Crocodile really stole the show. Gen 6, Noivern. Gen 7, Golisopod, a gorgeous beast. Gen 8, I wasn't a huge fan of this roster, but Centiskorch and Obstagoon were pretty great. Gen 9, I haven't fully decided yet. I adored Tinkaton, Farigiraf, Clodsire, and Houndstone. I think I need to do another playthrough to really settle on one. Favorite scene or frame I've drawn in my videos? I haven't really thought about it, but I was super proud of my encountering Zapdos scene in the Kanto video. I really loved that one. Favorite legendary Pokemon? I really love Ho-Oh, but the Pokemon 2000 movie had a chokehold on me as a child, so Lugia's up there too. If I could change one thing about Pokemon games going forward, what would it be? I'll be honest, I loved the sneaking up behind and throwing Pokeball mechanic in Legends Arceus. I'd be very happy if that came back. Who's the toughest, weakest, and favorite of the Pokemon villains? Well, toughest would probably be the Distortion World Cyrus, weakest would probably be Lysander, and favorite is Archie. Favorite team/adventure so far? I really loved my Emerald playthrough. It was my first time playing that specific game, so it really kept me invested. It was also kind of a tough mid-game for me, but I really loved my final team. It was a good mix of tough and easy, and it really helped me see why it's so many people's favorite gen. I can totally understand why. If I was a gym leader, what would be my main type? That's a hard one. I love so many of the types and I can never really settle on one, but I'd have to say either water or flying. I love a lot of Pokemon with those types, and it'd be fun to design a team with them specifically. Have you considered using voice actors? Not really. I can't pay them, and I'm too awkward to work with other people on my projects. I'd rather just do it all by myself. And finally, what advice would you give someone wanting to start an animation channel? I know it's kind of basic advice, but just start it. That was the hardest part for me. I did the gameplay and the script writing easily, but when it came to the actual drawing, I procrastinated for so long because I knew how time-consuming it would be, and I was scared to actually show it to people because I knew that first starting out it would look really bad, but doing a little bit every day, just a few seconds of animation every day, and it was crazy how quickly I improved. The muscle memory starts to kick in, you start to learn how to make certain movements easier and how to bend and move certain objects. People are afraid to start new hobbies because they know it will be bad at first, and unfortunately that's just an unavoidable part of life. I still cringe when I look at my older stuff, but I know in a few years I'll probably cringe at this current stuff too. But it just means you're improving, and that's good. I personally just use Rough Animator, which is a cheap animation app for my iPad, but it gets the job done. And you can watch tutorials online for how to use it, and then practice, practice, practice. That's honestly the best advice I can give you. I hope it's good. Thanks so much again for everyone who left a question for this video. I know I wasn't able to get to all of them, but I wanted to make sure this video was short enough to not interfere with my Alolan run, which is making good progress. I'm super excited to finish it. So thanks so much again for everyone who's subscribed and watches my stuff. I hope we can continue to grow, and I'd love to make some more videos like this in the future. So until then,